have a lot of characters, obviously, right? We have Smasher, we have Principal Rainer, we have Glitch, Hurrah, Myron, Mom, Baby Sister, Mr. Harple, Mrs. Peterson, Smokey. So there's a lot of characters in this book, but there's still only one major character. We're not going to have multiple major characters. Your major character is your main character. That is who, yes, Mom, let's go quickly. That is who the story is going to be about. So if we're looking at, okay, our West Meadows detective, the case of the snatcher. Okay, so if I'm looking for my main character, okay, main or major. So if I'm looking for my main character, who is this book? Think about it, and you're going to type me in the chat. Who is this book centered around? There's one person. Who is the book centered around? Whose thoughts, feelings, actions are we actually reading? Okay. Oh, type in the chat, type in the chat. Whose thoughts, feelings, actions are we really reading about, hearing about? Whose perspective is the book coming from? Think about all of these characters that we've listed, okay? Think about all those characters, okay? Who would be the main character? Think about all those different characters, okay? Ooh, I have some good answers. Anybody else have an idea? Who is the main character, the major character? Okay. So our major character would be Myron, right? So the reason our major or minor character would be Myron is because when you're reading the book, you're reading from his perspective. So you're reading from Myron's perspective. Like, you know how it tells you on one of the examples, it says, where it tells us at the very end, it was like, I'm going to a new classroom. I have a new classroom, new students, new desk. I don't like new, right? So he's saying I. So it's coming from his perspective. We're reading as Myron. So he would be our main or major character. Does that make sense to everybody? So he would be our main or major character because we're reading from Myron's perspective. We're reading as Myron, okay? So for our minor characters are going to be the ones that affect the major character. So for our minor characters, all of these characters that we've written down would be considered minor characters because they've had some kind of effect on Myron, right? So one of the really big minor characters that we've had is Hurrah, right? So can someone raise their hand and tell me what kind of effect has Hurrah had on Myron? She's making him, oh, Bridget, Tony, she's making him have to do what or be what?
A detective.
No.
A detective.
So she is making him be a detective, but she's kind of encouraging him. Think about how he's acting.
Myron's being serious.
Okay, so he's being serious, and her rock kind of brings out his what? Because she's very
Happy
funny.
side.
She's
Excited.
very happy, silly, funny. So she's kind of bringing that out of Myron, right? Would y'all agree? She's making Myron have to talk more. She's making him have to look for clues. She's making him kind of be a detective a little bit more. So she's affecting him because she's making him have to kind of, she's making him act different, right? So I'm going to put, she is making Myron act different because she is more silly, happy, and positive, okay? So she's not the only minor character though. There are a lot of minor characters in this book. So what I want to do is go ahead and read chapter 6. And while I'm reading it, I want y'all thinking about, is there another minor character that's introduced? Okay, do we get another minor character that gets introduced? If we don't get another minor character that's introduced, is there another minor character on here who we could say is what, if we could pinpoint the effect that they're having on Myron, okay? We can kind of tell what kind of effect they're having on him. So I'm going to go ahead and read chapter 6. So make sure you're sitting and you're listening. All right. So chapter 6. My afternoon classroom smelt like vanilla cupcakes. I do not like vanilla. I like chocolate. No one was eating cupcakes. Hurrah said the smell came from Mrs. Chu's perfume. I don't know why someone would want to wear perfume that made her smell like a dessert. I tried to not think about Mrs. Chu's perfume. It was hard. My mom says that when something gets in my head, I can't let go of it. This is true. If something is bothering me, I think and think and think about it until my brain feels like it's going to explode. That would never happen though. Exploding brains happen only in movies or TV and in video games. Getting things stuck in your head is not always bad. It's a good skill for a detective. I could not stop thinking about who could be the snack snatcher. This is a good thing because I knew I would solve the mystery. I would stay stuck in my head until I caught the thief. There were 19 kids in my afternoon class, 10 boys and 9 girls. And one teacher, Mrs. Chu, she was a girl too, but not really. She was a grown-up, so she was a woman. Mrs. Chu was nice, but she looked tired. I wondered why she'd be so tired on the first day of school. This classroom had more stuff in it: desks, tables, books, and a few computers. Mrs. Chu even let me and Hurrah sit together. Boys and girls, Mrs. Chu said when we were all at our desks. This afternoon we will be doing math. Is it a test? A boy with spiky hair said. We can't have a math test on the first day of school, can we? Relax, Hamad. It's not a test. It's just a few questions so I know where we all are on our math journey. I didn't groan. I like math. Numbers will always tell you what they mean. They're like a reliable witness in a mystery. A reliable witness is someone who saw the crime and tells you the truth. I need a reliable witness to this morning's snack theft. Hurrah didn't see anything because she was in the closet. I could not call her a reliable witness. I needed someone else. Mrs. Chu handed out a piece of paper with math questions on it. She put one on my desk. If you need help with these questions, Myron, just let me know, she said. When Mrs. Chu stood close, it felt like I was inside a vanilla cupcake. I did not want to breathe, or I might be sick from the smell. But if I can't breathe, I would die. Dying is worse than being sick. But if I was sick, I could not solve the mystery of the snack snatcher. I breathed through my mouth. Thankfully, Mrs. Chew's perfume didn't taste like vanilla cupcakes. The math questions were not hard, but I still had a hard time answering them. I couldn't concentrate on the numbers on the page. I had too many other questions to answer, questions about the snack snatcher. What had the thief done with the morning snacks? Where were any witnesses? Who else was in the kitchen this morning? Why are two boys standing in front of my desk? Smasher's two friends from the lunchroom stared down at me with their shifty eyes. I heard Mrs. Chew call their names during attendance, Cameron and Carter. Working hard, Snoop, said Cameron. My name is not Snoop, I said. Please don't call me that. We'll call you whatever we like, Snoop, said Carter. Hurrah stopped working on her math questions. Get lost, guys, she said. We're busy. Cameron leaned in close to me, very close. He brought his face into my personal space. My brain began to buzz. You two better not be thinking about those missing snacks, Cameron said. If Smasher finds out you've been snooping, she won't be happy. My brain buzzed louder. That was not good. The buzzing was a warning to my body that I was getting upset. Sometimes when I get upset, I cannot control what I say or do. I tried to tell Cameron and Carter to go away, but the words would not come out. But Hurrah had no trouble with the words. We're not snooping, she said, loud enough for the class to hear. She jumped to her feet. We're doing math. Now go away. Boys, Mrs. Chew called from her desk. Carter and Cameron jumped at the sound of the teacher's voice. Back to your seats. Carter and Cameron looked at me the whole way back to their desk. It was the same look bad guys in movies have when they want to tell the good guys, I'll get you. Don't worry about those two, Hurrah said. They've been bullies since kindergarten. My rule is to stay away from bullies, I said. That's a good rule, Hurrah. Went back to working on her math questions. I had questions to answer, but they weren't the ones on my math sheet. Why didn't Cameron and Carter want us to find the snack snatcher? What had them so worried? Were they involved? Could they be witnesses or even suspects? I had to find out. That meant I had to talk to them. But how could I talk to them and stay away from them at the same time? At the end of the day, I waited for Alicia to pick me up by the school doors. Hurrah waited with me. Her mom didn't finish work for another hour, so she went to the daycare after school. We can discuss the case until my sister gets here, I said. Shh, here comes our number one suspect. Glitch came through the doors with the rest of the kids from her afternoon class. She had her backpack over her shoulder and was on her way home. She stopped when she saw us. I've been looking for you two, she said. My brain buzzed again. It is never good to have your number one suspect looking for you. It usually means she wants to stop you from investigating the mystery. And she won't be very nice about it. Glitch waited until all the other kids had left. I want to hire you, she said. Hire us, Hurrah said. Everyone thinks I stole those snacks this morning. A logical assumption, I said. You did steal stuff last year, right? Hurrah thumped me on the shoulder. Myron, that's rude. It's not rude, I said. It's the truth. You told me yourself, Hurrah. Yes, but Hurrah's voice got quiet, and then her words just stopped. It's okay, Glitch said. I made a mistake last year and did not take those snacks this morning. Why did Principal Rayner talk to you, I asked. Because she thinks I haven't learned my lesson. Principal Rayner thinks you took the snacks. So does everyone else? That's why I need you, Glitch said. I want you to find out who really took the snacks. We'll take the case, Hurrah. Shook Glitch's hand so hard it made the robot buttons on the girl's backpack rattle. We're already on the case, Hurrah, I said. I know, but now we have an actual client, just like real detectives. She had a point. Detectives always have a client. That's the person they're solving the mystery for. Well, Detective Glitch said, will you take my case? Hurrah nodded. My partner thinks it's a good idea, I said, and so do I. A horn honked from a blue van in the parking lot. That's my dad, Glitch said. I'll see you in room 15 tomorrow. She ran to the waiting van, leaving me with my detective partner, a new clue and a new question. How did Glitch go from being our number one suspect to our number one client? All right, so let's think about, so we definitely just had kind of a change in, especially with major and minor characters. Kason, what just happened?
That it was different characters. Their number one suspect turned into their number one client.
Good. And Kason, who was that?
Glitch.
Cameron and
Gabriel, Carter. Your name is not Kason.
Cameron and Carter.
Okay. So Cameron and Carter. So I'm going to add Cameron. I'm going to add Carter. Okay. So we're going to add Cameron and Carter because they definitely are two people that they are probably, or they just became suspects along with Smasher, right? So what about Glitch? So now, Gabriel, what just happened with Glitch? Now unmute.
Okay, so Glitch was Byron's number one suspect. And then she hired them. And then she hired Myron and
Hurrah.
Yeah, and Hurrah to find who was the snack snatcher, and they were already on the case. But either way, she didn't know, so she asked them. And then after that, when she was their number one suspect, she turned into their number one client.
Okay, so if Glitch, and this is a rising action, it's not the climax, but I've run out of room. So if Glitch just became their number one client, do you think she, and raise your hand, do you think she is a suspect? Do you think she's still a suspect? Walter, why do you think she's not still a suspect?
Because she's asking them to find out who did it. So she couldn't be one.
Yes. So
she doesn't know who did it.
Because she doesn't know who did it. So she's asking them to find out who did it. So there's no way she could become a suspect. She could be a suspect anymore because they don't know, that she doesn't know who did it. And she wants them to find out who did it. So if she was the one that did it, she wouldn't hire them. Yes, Kason.
I think it's her. I think it's Glitch.
Could be.
Because
it still could be her.
I don't think it. I don't think
she's not nice to him. Now she's being nice.
Okay, because she wasn't nice and now she's being really nice. So could be. Okay, so let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about our major minor characters. So I want y'all to think about the two boys, okay, that we added, Cameron and Carter, okay? So they definitely had an effect on Myron. So what happened when Cameron and Carter came up to Myron? What happened to him? What started happening? Can someone raise their hand and tell me what started happening to him? Grace, what started happening to him when they came up to him?
His ears started buzzing.
Okay, his brain started buzzing. And does anybody remember what did he say would happen when his brain started buzzing? Bianca, what? Gabriel, raise your hand. What did he say? Bianca, what did he say happens when his brain starts buzzing?
He can't control what he says or does.
He can't control what he says or does. So we're going to write that down because that is definitely something that would affect a main character. If someone makes you feel like you can't control what you're going to say or do, that could lead to something very negative, right? Or very bad. Because it could lead to some kind of outburst. It could lead to you saying something you shouldn't say. So that would definitely happen. So I'm going to say Cameron and Carter, they make his brain buzz, which can cause him to
Not control.
lose control of what he says or does. So it can really cause him to lose control of what he says or does when his brain starts to buzz, okay? And so that's something that definitely is going to put an effect on him. So I want you to now think about, okay? I want you to now think about another minor character who we might have, okay? So what about, and we read about her yesterday. I'm gonna put her up here because I kind of ran out of room. So I want you to tell me in the chat, how do you think Smasher, okay,
Sure.
she's the bully. Hold on. How do you think Smasher, so you're gonna type it in the chat, how do you think Smasher affects Myron? What kind of effect did Smasher have on Myron? So you're gonna type in the chat. What kind of effect did Smasher have on Myron? Was it good? Was it bad? Why was it good? Why was it bad? Remember what she was. Was it a good effect? Was it a bad effect? Oh, you're typing in the chat. Type in the chat. Yes, Kason, thank you for raising your hand.
Can you go back to the characters?
Yes. So you're writing about Smasher.
You only forgot one thing, one of the characters.
What?
Mrs. Choose.
Oh, yeah, I should have Mrs. Chu on here. Thank you, Kason.
Because she's the one that smelled like vanilla.
Yes, you're very right. She is one that smelled like vanilla, and Myron thought he was going to get sick. Yes, you are very correct. Okay. So I have a lot of bad. It was getting him mad. It was bad, bad effect. It was bad by saying don't search for the snack snatcher. So he was getting mad. So it's not a good effect, right? Smasher had kind of a bad effect on Myron because of the fact that she was like, don't look for the snack snatcher. Don't look for them. I don't want you to look for them, right? And she's like, don't do it. So it's kind of the same thing as Cameron and Carter, where it probably is going to make him maybe lose control of himself at some point. So we're going to say bad effect because she is a bully and does not want him on the case. Okay, so, all right, so here's what we're gonna do. So you have your own plot mountain that you should be working on for your own mystery books that you've been reading, right? We made our plot mountain yesterday. You made your own plot mountain, just like mine. Okay, you made your own.
I didn't get to do one because I had Miss Davis.
Yeah, you're good. So we made our own plot mountains yesterday, okay, for our mystery novels that we have been reading. So your job today is to try and add more to your plot mountain, okay? Remember, you're not gonna finish this whole thing today, okay? Unless you have a really short chapter book or you have read a lot of it already, you probably won't finish this whole thing in one day. You won't finish it in one setting, but you should at least get rising action, okay? You should at least get a few different rising action events that are happening. And then I also want you to be looking at Okay, so I want you to add this to the bottom of your plot map. You're going to add it down here. I want you to make a list, or not make a list, but kind of a chart. And I want you to tell me, okay, who is your major character or characters, because remember, it could be like Piggy and Gerald, you could have two. And then I want you to tell me who are your minor characters. So that's kind of your main job for today, besides filling this out, is I want you to tell me who are your major characters, who are your minor characters in your mystery novel that you're reading.
Are we supposed to get on Epic?
Yes, we're about to in 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay, so this is your job for today.